Ty Anderson.
Yes, are you Morgan?
Hi, yes, nice to meet you.
It's a pleasure to meet you also.
It's a pleasure to meet you. I appreciate you making the drive out of your way to meet with me today.
Oh, it's not a problem. It's hot today, but...
It's very hot. It's been hot all week.
Is this okay to sit here?
Yes, please take a seat.
Yeah, I drove, I don't know, about 30 miles. It wasn't bad at all.
Okay, yeah, it's good. A little bit of a drive, but it's not too bad.
Yeah, but, you know, are you from Indianapolis area?
Yeah, I'm from Fishers, Indiana, if you know what that is.
Yeah, I do. So for me to get from Fishers to downtown, you know, not that difficult this time of the day. In the morning, obviously when you come, is it a difficult drive?
It's not too bad of a commute. I mean, I do it every day, so I'm used to it.
Yeah, well, very good. Well, thank you for having me in today.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you for meeting with me today. I know it was short notice.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you could come.
I have a copy of my resume here.
Thank
I know
you.
that I sent you one, and you probably have one.
Yes, I have looked over it. Thank you.
Yeah, that is just an additional copy in case there's someone else that needs a copy,
That's
or
great.
perhaps you might want to have something to take notes on.
That's
so
great.
that's
Thank you. I always like getting a hand copy as well.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Thank you. So you're here for an interview for the customer service rep job?
Yeah, I'm really excited about that.
That's great. I'm glad that you're interested in that position. Part of the process involves just a short interview. So I'll just ask you a couple questions, and if any time throughout the interview you have some questions for me, feel free to ask me anything you want.
Yeah, that sounds good. Thank you very much.
All right, to start off, why don't you just walk me through your resume?
Yeah, not a problem. Well, I graduated from college with a Bachelor of Science in Marketing. Right out of school, I had a job as a customer service rep at Progressive Insurance Company, where where I'm currently at. So I've been there for about 2 years now. My background, as I stated, was from Wright State University in Dayton, Ohio, where I picked up my Bachelor's of Science in Marketing, and really tried to transfer those skills and utilize those skills in a customer rep position that I had at Progressive Insurance Companies. So I was hired at Progressive as a trainee, a customer service rep trainee, really right out of college. They did a college event. And you know, I went through their training at their home office, and then I was really put into a role of answering phones on initial claims or car accidents coming in, taking notes, and really setting the platform for a claims adjuster to handle that accident. So it's been a really good experience. Again, I've been there for about 2 years.
2 years.
I really like the job. You know, it's something that I've always wanted to do, and which brings me sort of into this position. This is a, you know, I see as sort of a step further. It's really a direction I want to go with my career. So that's why I'm here today to interview.
Okay, great, awesome. Tell me a little bit more about your current position, what you dislike or like about it.
Yeah, well, you know, truthfully, I think the biggest part that I really like is the interactions that I get to have with the people over the phone. I mean, these people have been in accidents, and they really need somebody to speak to for the first time. I'm their first contact. So, you know, my job is really to gather information, but also to put that person at ease for what happened in the accident. And so that part of it I really enjoy. And so, you know, again, gathering information about what happened in an accident, putting the person at ease, and really set expectations for what they can expect down the road. What do I dislike about the job? I would say that the confrontation at times is, I want to say difficult. I'm not going to say that, you know, yeah, I guess I do dislike anybody I think dislikes confrontation, but if you know how to diffuse the situation, it can help. So, for instance, you know, I had a customer that had an accident and their car was totaled. They weren't happy about it. And so, you know, they were kind of taking out some frustration on the phone, you know, kind of arguing and yelling, right? And I just utilized some techniques to kind of understand what their frustration was. So ask some probing questions. So when I say I dislike it, it is part of the job, and so to help me overcome that part of disliking it, I've actually gone through training on how to handle difficult situations or diffuse customer service situations. And one of the first things I've learned is just to listen to them and let the person talk and try to understand the root cause or what might be occurring that they're unhappy. So then I can utilize my skills then to help them know that I'm guiding them through the process.
Definitely. That's great. That's great to hear.
Go.
Great, Ty. Thank you for sharing all that information with me. It sounds like you definitely have a good past.
Yeah. Yeah, guy has a lot of great experiences.
Great experiences, yes, definitely. Okay, I'm going to move on to the next question if you're fine with that.
Yeah, I am.
I'm just going to ask you a question. Think of a specific situation or example that you can think of. What action you took and the result of it.
Yeah, it's funny, in college they taught us I believe they call it a STAR question, or so like a specific situation, an example, an action. Yes. And so I think they call those behavioral type questions, right?
Yes, you
are.
You're
okay,
you're very correct.
Yeah, I had that. So okay, very good.
Great, that's all. Yeah. I just want you to tell me about the most you've ever done for a customer. Just think back to a situation.
Yeah. Well, we have after hours at Progressive. So if a person's involved in a serious accident or a serious loss, we could have to provide help depending on the situation. In this one situation, we actually had a home fire where it was around the holidays, and the person's, their house burnt down, and so it was right before the holidays. They lost everything they had, and that was probably one of the most difficult situations I had to deal with. I really had to listen to the person and really empathize and sympathize with their situation. But beyond that, it was what could I do for them right at that moment? Because here they are, they didn't have a home. Right. Yeah. And they had nowhere to go, and so I was actually calling from my house because I was contacted by our corporate office to call this person because I was on call, and it really took a lot of time out of my time. It was right at the holidays too for me, and a lot going on. So I spent really an entire evening walking. I gave them my phone number where I was at. I set them up with a hotel where they could, where I made sure that the room was taken care of, being direct billed to our company. I also forwarded them some money to help them buy some clothing right away, and to also, to help them with any miscellaneous expenses, and really just walk them through the process of trying to put them at ease as much as I possibly could. A really difficult situation. The end result was, I actually got back a survey. They survey our customers on how their claim service was, and I was actually mentioned in the survey about how I treated them with respect and how I put them at ease, and that just really made me feel good, and it made the customer feel good, which at the end of the day I think we were able to retain a good customer.
Yeah. That is an excellent example. I really appreciate you sharing that story with me. Those are great qualities I definitely look for in someone that I would want for this job.
Okay. Very good.
It definitely was a challenge, it sounds like. Yeah. So I'm glad that you were able to help out in that situation and
I agree.
Learn from it.
Thank you very much.
All right, Trey, so let's go on to the next question.
Very good.
So let's say if you had a customer on the phone who was screaming at you, cussing at you, just reacting very poorly to you when you, how would you handle that situation?
Right. That's a good question because, again, being in the auto accident claims business, I mean, that happens a lot. Definitely. So again, I just kind of go back to my training. I go back to my experiences, and again, another experience I had is one time I had a customer who had a total loss on their car. We owed them the value, but they owed the bank a lot more than what the car was worth, right? Yeah. So in the insurance settlement, you're only going to get the value of the car, but in this case, the value of the car was $5,000, but they owed $7,000, and obviously that's a problem for them. So in that situation, they started yelling and screaming about, well, that's what insurance is for, and it should take care of the full, what the payoff is. And so it really took some explaining on my part. I had to get them a copy of the policy and read through it with them and show them that the policy covers the value of the car and not what the payoff is, and explaining why. And then also explain that I would help them out understand their situation. So got the bank on the phone, explain the situation to them, and really help them work through the process. So so when those situations happen, if those come up again, I think the thing to do is, one, make sure that you understand why. What is the root cause? Why are they yelling? Why are they mad? Why are they angry? To diffuse it. So. And then again, I think you need to be empathetic, sympathetic, and listen. I mean, the worst thing you could do is argue back, right?
Yeah.
I mean, when you argue back, it only causes more conflict.
Yes,
so
exactly.
So yeah, that's how I would handle the situation.
That's great. I asked that question because there are people you will maybe run into who aren't as nice and understanding. So it's definitely good to hear how you would handle a situation like that.
Good, thank you.
All right, I have one final question today. I just want you to tell me about a time where you were given a task and you didn't complete it on time.
Okay. Well, one time I had to have all of my, I was to do a presentation in front of my peers at one of our team meetings. And I had just been so busy because we actually had got hit with a storm activity, so we had a lot of claims coming in, a lot of phone calls coming in, so I was very, very busy and I was unable to complete it on time. And so I actually just went to my manager and explained to them that I'd had a lot happen in terms of what was going on at work with the recent storm, and that I was trying to prioritize. And so I asked if it would be okay if I could present that at another time. So he told me that was fine. I think my key learning there is just to make sure that when I do have a timeline, that I'm not delaying or wasting time in case something unforeseen comes up. So for instance, the next time I was given a timeline on a different project, and that exact same situation came up, but I was well ahead of time on it, so I was able to work through it, get it completed, and get it presented. So, so while I didn't meet the timeline, I tried to really use that event or that situation as an example for me to make sure that I'm utilizing all my time correctly.
That's great.
Okay.
Good example. Thank you. All right. I think that's all the questions I have for you today. Do you have any questions you would like to ask me?
Yeah, you've answered a lot of my questions. I mean, you did a great job. I guess I do have one question. What kind of person are you looking for in this position? I mean, what kind of qualities or what do you expect of the person?
We are just looking for someone who can handle a customer with just respect and understand. You are going to get all different kinds of people out there, so how to adjust the type of person and their problems.
So being able to handle arguments like we talked about.
Be able to handle a type of person you might come across on the phone, and be able to help them in any way possible that you can.
Okay.
All right, let me tell you about the next steps for this process.
Thank you.
We just have a couple more interviews to do.
Okay.
And we would like to come up with a decision by the end of the week.
Okay.
So you should be hearing something back from one of us by next week.
Okay. So if I can just make sure I rephrase it, so you have a couple more people you're interviewing?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Just a couple more.
Okay. So then you're going to decide who to bring back in then for a final interview next week? Yes.
There will be a final interview. So you'll get an email or a call from one of us by next week that will give you your next final steps, and hopefully everything works out.
Okay. Well, Morgan, I appreciate you spending time with me. It was really nice of you to share with me about the company and be able to provide you some of my background. So I thank you very much.
No, I appreciate it. Thank you for coming out today. And I know it's a little bit of a commute, so I appreciate it.
Not a problem.
All right.
Out this way?
Yes. Thank you.
Well, thank you again.
All right. Have a good rest of the day, and we'll be here back.
And again, I really look forward to it, and I really think I could do the job. And
yes.
and I hope it's me. So have a
All
great
right,
day, okay?
You too.
Thank
You'll hear something back next week.
Thank you.